Welcome to a new video. Hello wonderful peoples, how are you doing today? My name is Theo and welcome to another video. So in today's video, we're going to talk about your delts, aka your shoulders. As usual, we're going to cover the anatomy and then the function. And as last, I'm going to show you several exercises that you can do in your typical gym to train them effectively. Alright, without further ado, let's get started with the anatomy. The anatomy. These are your delts, short for musculus deltoidae. The deltoid muscle is the large superficial muscle that covers your entire shoulder. When properly developed, it gives you that nice V-shaped upper body that we all like. It also aesthetically complements the arms and back. You simply look more jacked with bigger shoulders. The deltoid muscle has 3 prominent heads with different origo and functions. The front deltoid has its origo on the lateral third of the clavicula. The side deltoid, also known as the lateral deltoid, and not medial deltoid, originate from this pointy bone called the acromion. The rear deltoid originates from the entire spine. All 3 heads of the deltoid muscle insert on this part of the upper arm known as the deltoid tuberosity. Funny fact about the deltoids, they begin where the traps end. So you can imagine that these 2 muscles like to work with each other. And now the function. The function. Just by knowing the origo and insertion of a muscle, you can make a very good educated guess of its function. However, it is important to know that the most important function of the deltoid muscle is to prevent dislocation of the humeral head from your shoulder joint, especially when you're carrying or pulling heavy loads. But more specifically, the front deltoid assists the pectoralis major in flexion and medial rotation of the humerus. And it does also horizontal adduction. And when the shoulder is elevated to 6 degrees and externally rotated, it does further abduction above your head. The lateral deltoid does abduction up to the horizontal plane. The posterior deltoid performs extension of the shoulder, horizontal abduction, and external rotation. In the previous videos that I made about similar subjects, I got a lot of feedback telling me that the videos were too long sometimes. So that's why in this video, I'll try to make this video as compact as possible without losing any quality. Watch the video all the way to the end. I have an announcement I'm going to make. And for now, let's go to step number 3, the exercises. Because most people have a lagging posterior deltoid, I'm going to go through these exercises starting with an emphasis on the posterior chain and then the side and then the front deltoids as last. Here is the first exercise. The exercises. I normally don't mention warm-ups as an exercise for any of the muscles that I'm covering, but for the shoulder, there's an exception. The shoulder is very prone to injuries and it has a lot of small muscles like the rotator cuff muscles that you need in your daily life. And if you're injured on any one of those muscles, then your daily life is highly limited, let alone training. To be honest, I only normally warm up with like 2 exercises, but for the sake of this video, I did a bunch of them, and mostly they are all oriented at internal and external rotation of the shoulder. Coming in at number 12 is the rear delt cable fly exercise. This is an exercise that basically does horizontal abduction. Research has shown that it not only recruits a lot of the posterior deltoid, but also the lateral deltoid. Make sure to pronate your arm, and I try to rotate at the end of the movement to recruit more of the posterior deltoid, the one that needs more focus than any other deltoid. The next exercise is the chest supported rear delt fly. You don't need a lot of weight for this one. Always remember to point your pinkies outwards. This would firmly target your posterior deltoids. Another variation is with the neutral palms or supinated palms. This will also target a lot of the lateral deltoids as well as the posterior deltoids. The next exercise I learned from Gabriel saying Here you're using heavy dumbbells, pointing your pinky outwards and only using partial range of motion. This is a great exercise for your rear delts. I would definitely recommend trying this one. The next exercise is the standing bent over raises. Here you bend over to target a bit more of the posterior deltoids. No heavy weights needed here, just some smooth control movements. The next exercise is the reverse fly machine, also known as the rear delt machine sometimes. I like to do it with a pronated grip. However, the research of Schoenfeld et al. Showed that the neutral hand position had significantly greater activity of the posterior deltoids. Try it for yourself and see what works. And the last exercise focusing on the posterior deltoids is the face pull. I like to do it leaning slightly behind and focus on pulling the cable apart when it comes to your face. That's why they are called face pulls. The next exercise is the lateral raise machine. As you can hear by the name, this is for lateral raises, so thus it focuses on the lateral deltoids. This is a great machine especially for beginners. You can add very light weight, it's very safe for your back, and it's a great way to train your shoulders when you're just starting out. The next exercise is the dumbbell incline one arm lateral raise. This is the perfect exercise to isolate the lateral deltoid. Make sure that you don't go too high because the lateral deltoid only performs abduction until 60 degrees. The next exercise is the single arm cable lateral raise. I like to do this leaning slightly sidewards and not using a lot of weight and keeping the arm as straight as possible. I learned this pulling the cable between your legs from Jeff Nippert, who then learned it from the Egyptian guy when he was in Egypt. Like this, your hand has a free movement without any hinder, and thus you can target the lateral deltoid very effectively. Coming in at number 3 in the top 3 is the Arnold Press. This is a great exercise that targets the front deltoids during the entire movement. You really don't need a lot of weights on this one, and many people also use this exercise as a good warm-up for the more heavier presses that we're going to follow from now on. And number 2 is the traditional seated dumbbell press. This is a great exercise that targets the front shoulders heavily. Most people can usually go heavy on this one, so can I, but not in this video. There are 2 variations that I like to use, the one with the pronated grip and one with the neutral grip. They both target the front shoulders and they are great for switching up once in a while. Alright, last but not least, coming in at number 1 is the overhead press, also known as the military press. The compound movement for your shoulders. It hits all parts of your deltoids, but the front deltoids gets hit the most. A couple of tips, cues. Number 1 is squeeze your glutes when you're pressing up and keep your legs straight and your core tight. This is very important. Also, do the full range of motion and push through the bar, keeping the bar path as straight as possible. You should be moving around the bar, not the bar moving around you. Like all compound movement, make sure that you master the technique before you add any significant weight to the bar. Alright. Thank you very much for watching. That was the video for today. Announcement number 1. If you'd like to get in shape with me as your personal online coach, you can hit me up on the email linked down below. I provide online coaching with a personalized workout scheme that is evidence-based. And for more info, I'll send you in the reply. Announcement number 2. I'm going to be posting more short workout videos on my Instagram. So please follow me right here on my Instagram if you haven't already. Thanks again for watching. Let me know in the comment sections below which muscle I should cover next. Now go out there and train your shoulders. And oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you next time.